Here at the FayWhat show, we gotta help my gay boys. And in our segment called Dear FayWhat, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing gay boy in a lesbian's body to help my fellow gay boys. This week, Exhausted X sent us an email. Dear FayWhat and Hottie, that's you.
That's me.
Love the show. Thank you for being you. So, I'm dealing with an ex from hell. I use the term ex loosely since we dated for less than 6 months. We broke up right after Thanksgiving when I was too busy for a relationship. I had just landed my dream job, so I told him I was laser focused on work and climbing the corporate ladder, rather than devoting time to a new boyfriend. I thought we ended on an okay note, but I quickly learned otherwise. He seems to have weaponized my career ambitions against me. He recently started sending emails to my boss, telling her all sorts of crazy and untrue stuff about me. He said I cheated on him, not true, so I can't be trusted and should be fired immediately. He also said he has compromising videos of me filmed in the company break room that could be damaging to the company if it ever was, quote, leaked. Also untrue and ridiculous. But the craziest part is that he said he was prepared to, quote, go public with something very sinister about me. I thought this would blow over eventually, but it's now been over 2 months and he's still doing it. My boss seems to be understanding and says she doesn't hold any of this against me, but it's still embarrassing and I worry that it could cause issues down the line. What if it causes her to view me differently? Or worse, she gets so sick of being harassed by my ex that she decides to let me go. I haven't spoken to my ex since the breakup, but I have texted him a few times telling him to stop. Every time I do, the next day my boss says that she has received something else from him. Signed, what do I do? Exhausted by my ex. Wow.
I'm exhausted by that email.
How sordid. Wow.
Listen, cops, call them. I mean, some people you can't, it's tough. I've actually had an ex like this. So there are some people that you can't speak calmly to. Like there are some people that don't hear things unless like you elevate your voice and you get into like a yelling match. And then there are some people that don't hear anything. So this sounds like someone who hears nothing, and like blocking them on social media and blocking their number and doing all that stuff is not actually going to be the way to go. Because if they're going to release something that you don't know, you want to be able to see what they're posting if it's about you, right?
Yeah.
This just sounds like he picked a crazy one.
And he was only with him 6 months, Eric.
Well, the dick must have been great.
The dick must have been fantastic.
It must have been the best D that you have had all year, because I don't know. He sounds like he sounds
toxic.
The red flags are flagging to me.
Everywhere.
You know?
Everywhere.
Listen, if you know that there's nothing he can release about you, like if you know there's no footage, if you know there's nothing he has on you, you're fine, right? You're fine.
Yeah.
If you're not sharing the whole truth with Faye and I and not telling us everything that could have went down in that break room, or if there are things that you know that you shouldn't know, then you can't shut him out. Yeah. So, you know, if you know that he's got nothing on you, block him, get him out of your life, get him away. But if you have things to work out, you've got to adult up and throw on a helmet, baby, and deal with the music.
You say in the email that both the things that he's accusing you of and telling your boss that you've done, you haven't done, right? So I'm going to take that as face value.
As long as you haven't done them.
If you haven't done that,
you're good.
Then unfortunately, you have to go to the police.
Yeah,
you have to have a paper trail. I'm not saying that he's going to go crazy on you.
Order.
But you get a restraining order, and he can't be 50 feet from you or 100 feet from you or whatever it is. But the paper trail is important, right? Maybe he's not stable. Maybe something else will set him off. Who knows, right?
Which would be the best situation possible, by the way. If something else set him off, then he would look even more just like the crazy one, and then you're fine.
Exactly.
Right.
But you're not even fine, because a restraining order doesn't protect you from shit, okay? It's just a piece of paper, but it sets the paper trail going, right? For your boss, it's fantastic that you have an understanding boss, but I don't know how that whole situation is. You need to log that with HR as well. All right,
The
that
boss
needs
is gonna
to
get.
be.
She's gonna get sick of it. She's
100%.
gonna get over
like,
it.
why
Yeah.
not have an employee that I don't have to get this
Don't
shit
have to
from?
deal with this from. Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? It does get, after a while, it just does, you know? Exes can be crazy. You know, I've had to block people. I've had to get a restraining order. And nobody wants to go through all that. And you're like, oh, you don't want to mess up their lives and all that. But how about your life and your well-being and your being able to be mentally safe?
Deal with it now before it's like 3 months from now and you're like changing your phone number and like changing your address and putting more money into changing things about you because you don't want this person to find you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deal with it now.
It sucks. It sucks.
Sounds bad, but I hope it was
we're
worth
not
it.
you. We're happy we're not you.
We are. We are. Check back in the next show I'm on.
Yeah, no, check back in and let us know what happened. Just
Yeah.
because, you know, it's a tough one, and you seem like you're at the end of your rope.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that you haven't thought about seeking some help already. I
Right.
hope some people in your life have told you that. If this is us supporting that, then do it. Okay,
Yeah.
because if
You guys
if it's
sound
been
like
3
you
months,
moved at lightning speed within those 6 months. You sound like it went from hot and heavy to married quick. So
and to
yeah.
intimacy, and
Yeah.
people take, you know, intimacy harder to lose than sex.
Right.
You know, in 6 months, he probably already had, okay, I'm going to have a future, whatever
Right.
that future looks like with this
Right.
guy.
Right.
He's got a brand new
He
job.
had it all painted out.
And
Yep.
that's not how it ended up. So,
No, honey.
All right. Well, keep those emails coming at FayWhat@happeningout.com. This is an important conversation for our LGBT